Hello students and welcome to the e-learning program initiated by Shri Gyanmanjari for the students of Standard 10, in which we are learning the subject of English. Students, from today onwards we are going to start with chapter number 11 of the first flight. First flight, chapter number 11, name of the chapter is The Proposal. The Proposal is written by a very well known and quite famous playwright hailing from Russia. Name of the author is Anton Chekhov. Now, about the author, Anton Chekhov is a great playwright and a short story writer from Russia. He was a physician by profession, but dedicated to writing. He is considered among one of the greatest literary figures of Russia, and as far as short stories are concerned, that has a background of Russia, and that is generally aimed at uh, giving some moral story to the reader. He is considered among the one of the greatest short story writers in the world, and in this chapter we are going to, this is actually a play, a drama. If we were having regular school, then we could have dramatized, or it is very important for role play, so we could have done that, but then nothing can be done right now. So we start with an introduction to give you a picture how a Russian wedding is, right? So a Russian wedding, do you know anything about a Russian wedding, marriage ceremony? Nothing. So read this article and we are going to do that. Preparations for a Russian wedding. Russian wedding, it's quite simple. It's not that much complicated like the Indian wedding, right? It's quite simple. You need very few things. First thing is the bride and the groom. Then the planning only includes arranging for rings. They exchange rings, and you need bride's dress, that is that bridal dress. You need cars to go along the reception, etc. And when the couple gets married, they drive off in a car. So you need cars and a reception party. That's it. You don't need much arrangement. Earlier, the bride's family paid for the reception. Now, in the earlier days, it was on the bride's family, the girl's family, to bear the expenses of the reception. But we know nowadays, yes, because of the much expenses that are incurred in the marriages, and quite a cordial relationship is there between the parents of the bride and the groom. So nowadays, uh, brides and the groom's family usually share the expenses of the um, wedding, because it becomes quite costly. Yes, the prices have gone up and all the things. You need the same things. Yes, same number of guests are going to come. Basically, your family and friends are going to attend, right? And uh, the expenses are the same, but then expensive have shot up. Yes, so uh, one family cannot bear whole of the expenses. So usually the bride and the groom's family, both of them, they share the expenses nowadays. A Russian wedding, it lasts for 2 days, and some wedding last as long as a week. That is as many occasions that you have, as many programs that you have, as many schedules that you want for uh, the wedding. Same way it happens in India also. Yes, the more number of programs you keep on adding, this is Sangeeta, yeah, some, so we can extend the number of days so the wedding takes place. And basically what we want is, we want our family and friends and everybody to enjoy, and main thing is to make that marriage a memorable one, right? So that it lasts in the mind forever, and it's a big treat that is given to the girl, right? That such an expensive wedding, such a broad-based program, well program, that lasted for quite a number of days, and all the guests, they will also remember that wedding forever. So A wedding usually lasts, a Russian wedding lasts for 2 days, but sometimes it can take as long as a week also. And the occasion becomes something to remember for years. Yes, you keep on having that memory. Yes, so that is one wedding I had attended. Like that, I never attended any other wedding. So the necessary part of the wedding ceremony is the wedding procession for of several cars. Several cars are lined up, and that goes from the uh, groom's family to the reception area, right? The best friends of the groom and bride, they meet before the wedding a few times and make posters, write speeches, and organize contests. So it is basically the young people, right? The bride has lots of friends. Same way, the groom also has lots of friends. So both the parties, opposite parties, they meet together. They write slogans and they perhaps prepare some drama and music and singing and dancing and all that, right? So write speeches, organize contests. When the groom arrives to fetch the bride for the registration, they have to register at the marriage register. So because each and every wedding must be registered, even Indian also, right? So we get it registered, right? Whenever a marriage happens, it's better to register, right? He has to fight to get her. Now, हर जगह होता है ये. We try to have maximum fun in the wedding, so we find out different ways to have fun. Yes, the bride has come to take the groom, or the groom has come to take the bride. Yes, wherever he goes, he has to flush out money. Yes, कोई जूता ले लेता है कोई. So the same thing happens everywhere in the world. Only thing, the ways and methods might be a little bit different. When the groom arrives to fetch the bride for the registration, he has to fight to get her. Russians usually live in apartments of tall buildings, so all this throughout the staircase. Yes, at each and every point, he has to either say the bride's family or the bride's friend. They will ask him to dance or you to give money. So each and every place he has to oblige and he has to give money. Usually live in apartments and tall buildings, and the groom has to climb several stairs, right, to reach his bride. But at each landing, he must answer a question to be allowed to go. So they have this type of fun, right? So they prepare questions for him. If he is able to solve the riddle, then he'll go to the next step, right? So the bride's friends ask difficult questions, sometimes about the bride, sometimes just difficult riddles, and the groom must answer with the help of his friends. Now, the groom also has lots of friends. Groom is the boy who has come to take the girl, that is the bride. So he is asked some personal questions or any riddle or any questions, and the groom, with the help of his friends, has to solve the riddle. Then only he can go to the next landing. What is the landing? You take up flight of stairs, then you come to a landing, then change direction, then that's called landing, right? For example, he may be shown a few photos of the baby girls. Yes, when the bride was quite small, 1.5 year old, उसके photographs है बहुत सारे हैं. Now he has to find out which small bacha is that bride, right? So now the bride might be say 18, 19, 20, 22 years, and that photography was a 1.5 year old. So it becomes very difficult, right? So they just have fun and must say which one is the bride is. If he guesses wrong, then he must pay cash to move it. Now you don't know the answers. Yes, the wife, the would-be wife is about 25 years age, and the photo shown is 1 year. Now how is he going to know that, right? So he can't answer that question. Then if he's not able to answer the question, he has to pay bribe. Just pay money so that the friends leave him and allow him to go ahead. After the marriage registration, now the bride is taken by the groom, and they go for the marriage registration. When they come back, the reception starts. So that is the newlywed. Now, when they go and register, then at the church or at the registrar's office, yes, with a little bit noting whatever writing has to be done, and the registrar, the official, he notes the name and etc., all the details, etc., and the witness are also there, and the marriage is concluded by the registrar over there, right? So if it's a church, they go to the church. Now after they come back, now they are newlyweds. They have just completed the wedding formalities by the authorities, and now they are newlyweds. So the newlywed couple leaves the guests for a tour of the city sites after 2 or 3 hours. Now they should have a time together. They have just got married, so people give them time for 2-3 hours. They'll just roam around in the city with all the wedding dresses that they have worn, and then they come back. And by the time reception is prepared, after 2 or 3 hours of city tour, the couple arrives at the reception. The couple sits at the special stage, जैसे हमारा होता है, right? Reception में same thing. Arrange table with their family, friends, invited guests, and the reception starts with toasts to the couple. Everybody raises their glasses and toasts to the couple. Yes, then somebody might sing, somebody might dance, and all the people, they make merry. The wedding toast is a custom where a close friend or relative of the groom or the bride says a few words to wish the couple. Then everyone raises the glasses of wine, drink it up at the same moment. Whole of this is example of toast. Yes, when we say toast, right? So that is, what is the meaning of toast? This is the meaning of toast. That somebody will stand up. He will either he might be a very best friend of the bride or a very best friend of the groom, and then he or she, they will stand up and give a short speech, and he will raise a glass. All the invitees, they will also raise their glass. That is called toast. And they raise the glasses of wine and drink it up at the same moment. All of them, they empty the glass together. Now again the glasses will be filled, and the groom is then asked to kiss the bride. After that is the formality, right? After a few toasts, people start eating, drinking, and generally have fun. And after some time, the bride gets stolen. Now we also have that. कभी जूता गुम हो जाता है, कभी bride गुम हो जाती है, वापस चाहिए, नगद नारायण चाहिए, right? So same thing happens over here. She disappears, and when the groom starts looking for her, he is asked to pay a fee. So that same fun is there everywhere. Yes, जितना हो सके उतना groom को लूटो, right? Usually it is his friends who have stolen the bride. Then there are the bride's friends. They all steal the bride's shoes. The groom must pay money for the stolen shoes also. And the guests enjoy watching all that fun. Yes, usually lots of games are made up before in each and every religion, each and every marriage. These things are all set up, and the main purpose is to enjoy that marriage ceremony completely and thoroughly. So this is in short, short and very sweet description of a Russian wedding. Now we will come to the drama or the play. The proposal, it was originally titled A Marriage Proposal, and it was cut short. Proposal means a marriage proposal, right? Is a one-act play. Now what is a one-act play? One-act play usually is that same person is all the characters. He will stand over here like this, deliver the dialogue, then he stands like this and delivers the dialogue of the opposite person. It is usually a one-act. That is called a one-act play, right? What is a complete drama? Where each and every character is assigned to a person. Then that becomes a drama, because then 3-4 characters are there, all one by one. Whenever their entry is, they come on the stage. Whenever their exit is, they go away from the stage. So this is a one-act play, a farce. Very, very one of the most interesting, and usually the dramas, the comedy dramas that are made, they are usually based on that farce. Yes. Now what is farce? Farce is nothing but absurdity. What is absurd? Absurd, जिसका कोई सिर पैर नहीं होता, right? That's called absurd. Yes, it's completely gone mad, crazy. So this type of drama where we just sit over there and we just fold away with laughter. Yes, there is so much fun. There is so much comedy going on the stage. And that is everything based on absurdity. Yes, we don't actually, those things don't happen. But then the farce is created well. Farce is just for humor. Sometimes farce may be quite pinpointing, right? For example, over here, whole of the drama is based on farce, absurdity. But the author also wants to pinpoint how the rich people, they arrange these marriages. Yes. So at the same time, it is satire also on them, that this shouldn't happen, right? He wants to protest, so he finds out a way to protest, and he makes a farce or an absurd comedy. And this is what we are going to learn by the Russian short story writer and the dramatist Anton Chekhov. It was written way back in 1988-89, right? So it was written quite a long time back, right? Some 130-40 years before, right? So we enjoy the time at which it was taken. Now, the play is about the tendency. This is the most important, and I'll put a star mark over there. You also can put a star mark wherever your material it's there. This play is about the tendency of the wealthy families to seek ties with each other's with the other wealthy families. Now, one wealthy family is there, they will try to marry off their daughter to another wealthy person so that his daughter or their daughter can get a part of the wealthy person's uh, money, wealth, assets, property, etc. Now, this is wrong, right? This is quite wrong. The marriage, whole of the marriage is fixed. Without keeping the girl's wish or the boy's wishes or dreams in mind, they get married off so that they can have a part of the other wealthy person's asset, money, and property. To increase their estate by encouraging marriages that make good economic sense. So basically, the marriages are fixed by the parents in such a way that it gives them a little bit more uh, money. So the whole of the setting is taken into consideration. The economic sense is taken into consideration, that how much we have and how much they have, right? Now, if we marry off our daughter, then we will give them a part of our property, right? But when the girl goes and marries over there and becomes a part of their family, right, then she also has a right to part of that property. So in this way, the marriage ties are happening in such a way by keeping the wealth in mind, the property in mind. Now we come to the one of the main character, Ivan Lomov, a long-time wealthy neighbor of Stephen Chubukov, also wealthy, comes to seek the hand of Chubukov's 25-year-old daughter. The name is Natalia. So basically, in whole of the drama, we have only and only three characters. One is Ivan Lomov, next one is Stephen Chubukov, and the third one is Natalia. Yeah? So, uh, Ivan Lomov is quite a wealthy man, and he has a lot of estate, lots of money, lots of laborers, etc., managers working under him. Their neighbor is the Stephen Chubukov, right? He is also quite wealthy. So Ivan has come to the house of Stephen Chubukov to ask for his daughter's hand to be given to him, right? So he has come to propose. Now, why has he come to propose? Because Stephen Chubukov also has quite large estates and lots of wealth, and he is quite a wealthy person. So this is basically a setting, so they both are living nearby, right? They are neighbors. So each other's property will become each other's property, right? So if we see, the idea is quite good enough. There is nothing wrong in this proposal, right? It is absolutely correct. Now, the girl's father does not have to worry because the girl is going just next door after marriage, right? And the girl also doesn't have to worry. At the same time, she can take off her family business, take care of her family at her husband's home, and whenever she wants, she can also visit her father, who is just living next door, right? So it's quite convenient, right? But here we see that both are equally rich, and they are quite rich, right? And that economic sense is over there. Marriage is done for keeping in view some economic sense, that uh, the daughter of the neighbor, yes, is the only daughter, and when the in-law will not be there. That means passed away, all of the property will become his. So now he will have a quite huge property. That is what in the Ivan Lomov's mind. At the same time, the girl's father is also thinking in the same way, that once my daughter gets married to him, his property will also become half of the property automatically goes to the girl. So my girl will be quite safe. Yes, she never has to worry about money, and it's a very good setting, right? So for both of them, this proposal is very, very good. But what is wrong with them? All the three of them, they are very quarrelsome people. In the fight over petties, very small issues they fight over. So whole of the drama is based on that fighting only, right? There is lots of fighting. No boxing, etc. is there, right? They verbally fight. They verbally fight. They verbally accuse each other. They verbally insult each other, humiliate each other, try to demoralize each other. And in this way, we can see the actual color of their nature, right? We can see what these people actually are when they come up to fighting verbally. So that is what we are going to see. The proposal is in danger of being forgotten amidst all this quarreling. Now, the boy had come to the neighbor's house to propose for the neighbor's daughter, but some issue comes up and they start fighting like dogs and cats. And in that fight, whole of the issue of the proposal is totally forgotten. But economic good sense ensures that the proposal is made. At the end, what happens? Everybody thinks in their own economic sense that this proposal should not break. It should happen. It should materialize. That Ivan should get married to Natalia. Then only everybody's economic sense or whatever money matters are in their mind, right? That stays. Yes, this is a very important proposal which came by itself, and we should not let it go. So at the end, whatever happens in each and every story, yes, yes, everything ends well and everybody is happy at the end of the story. Although quarreling perhaps continues, that we know. Yes. Now, if even before hearing the proposal, the boy and the girl are fighting like anything, right? And at the end, everything becomes okay and the proposal is accepted. Now, we know they are quarrelsome. So, even when the marriage happens, after that also, it is very sure that they are going to fight. That is the main thing over here written. Although quarreling perhaps continues. Yes, quarreling is going to continue because both the parties, yes, the boy and the girl, the bride and the groom, both of them are quite quarrelsome, and after marriage that quarrel is going to continue, right? They are never going to have peace of mind. Now, the characters are introduced, first, second, and third. Three characters are there, and whole of the play is conducted by these three characters. Stepanovich Chubakov, a landowner, right? We know he is Natalia's father. Next is Natalia Stepanova. She is his daughter, that is Stepan Stepanovich Chubakov's daughter is Natalia Stepanova. His daughter, 25 years old. Yes, don't get confused by the names. Yes, our names will sound equally funny to them, right? So, different parts of the world, different names, and might look funny, but that's not it. Ivan Vasilyevich Lomov, in short we'll say Ivan or Lomov, a neighbor of Chubukov, a large and a hearty person, but very suspicious landowner, right? He is having quite a large heart and a very handsome person, good looking person. Yes, but he is of some suspicious nature, and if somebody says to him something, he will always have a negative thinking and he will always be suspicious. He is not clear what the other person wants. So this is the basics of the character. Now we start with the play. Chubukov My dear fellow, whom do I see? Ivan Vasilovich? I am extremely glad. So Chubukov is in his house and Ivan must have entered. That means we are in this on the stage. On the stage, the stage is set the Chubukov's house, right? And from the main door or from the sides, Ivan Lomo must have entered. So we are basically looking at the stage, and that is Chubukov's house. So he is greeting Lomo, my dear fellow. See the decorated language in which these rich people talk to each other. Very decorative sentence, yes, and very ludicrous and very uh, very honey sweet languages talk to them, but behind that honey sweet language is something else is meant, right? But on the outside they give a show as if they are quite refined, quite cultured, quite mannered, right? And uh, whenever a small insult is hailed at them, instantly they are shocked by the way, right? That is just for a show, and inside they are also meaning the same to the other person. My dear fellow, see the starting. Whom do I see? Ivan Vasilovich. I'm extremely glad. Squeezes his hand, right? That is, both of the people shake hands. Now, this is a surprise. You never come to our house, my darling. How are you? So you can see, my dear fellow, my darling, right? So in that way, he's trying to be very polite, but inside is something else. Lomo, thank you. And how may you be getting on? So these are just the pleasantries when we go to each other's house. This what we say, kemcho kemne, is the same thing. How are you? How are you doing? Yes, what's new in the life, or what has passed by? I don't know, right? So let us just be familiar. Chibuko says, we just get along somehow, my angel, thanks to your prayers and so on. And now you see, Lomo is not praying for Chubukov anytime. They are neighbors, right? But they are not praying for each other. These are the good, sweet word, honey-covered words that are given, right? So, we just get along. We are not as much rich as you, right? Otherwise, what happens? It happens everywhere. The dowry system, right? If we say we have lots of things, yes, we are living very richly sophisticated way, then the groom is going to ask for dowry. So he says, we just get along somehow. इतना आपकी जैसा अमीर नहीं है. My angel, another sweet word over here. Thanks to your prayers, another sweet word, and so on. And so on means lots of sweet words. Yes, just to please Lomo and feel him easy. Sit down. Thanks. Please do. Now you know you shouldn't forget all about your neighbors, my darling, my dear fellow. Why are you so formal in your get-up? Now, Lomo has come dressed. Lomo has come quite dressed, and that is what Chubuko doesn't understand. He is just visiting his neighbor, right? You don't visit your neighbor in a three-piece suit, right? From top to bottom, as if you are going to a wedding ceremony or a wedding functions, important function, right? You don't dress up like that and go to your neighbor, right? So something suspicious is there, and you shouldn't forget your neighbors and all that. And he puts his idea in front of you. Why are you so well dressed up? Yes, you are just visiting your neighbor, so it should be quite informal, but what you are is a formal dress, evening dress. Yes, when we go to ball parties, etc., evening dress. Same a three-piece suit, right? And along with that, gloves also. Yes, white colored gloves or leather gloves, right? Because it's quite cold in Russia, we know that, and so on. Can you be going anywhere, my treasure? See, the lovely honey-covered words are given over here, my treasure. And where's the other one? My dear fellow, right? And so, my darling. So, in this way, he's trying to be too much informal with a neighbor. Lomo, no, I have come to see you. I don't have to go anywhere, right? And I am dressed in the evening dress, gloves, and shoes polished and all that. I'm not going anywhere to some party or to some function. I just come to meet you. Honored. Now, Lomo is also not less Now he starts addressing very, very politely, quite in a formal way. Yes, honored Stephen Stepanovich. Chibuko says, then why are you in the evening dress, my precious? See, well, you don't say these words, right? In normal uh, words with your neighbors, we don't behave so politely, so cultured and mannered, as if you are paying a New Year's visit. Yes, this is not New Year Eve, the evening before the New Year, and you haven't come over us to say hey, Merry Christmas or Happy New Year to us. Yes, then okay, if you're wearing so much formal dress, but you're just visiting your neighbor. So, Lomo, well, you see, it's like this. Now he takes his arm. I have come to you, honored Stephen Stepanovich, to trouble you with a request. Now, I have come here, right, without you calling me. That means I have some business with you. So, both of them, uh, they're talking quite formally. They're not talking informally. Now, Lomo says, I have come with a reason. Actually, I have to request you something. Not once or twice have I already had the privilege of applying to you for help. No, this is not the first time that I am coming to you. Even before, I have come to you for one or another kind of help. But this one is quite different. And you have always, so to speak, I must ask your pardon. I'm getting excited. I shall drink some water. Now, what he has come to say, he is not able to pop it out of his mouth. He is not able to gather courage to say that thing. So he says, yes, he gives some excuses like my heartbeat is uh, going quite fast, and my throat has become quite dry, and I need some water. So that means he is just whiling away time so that he can gather that courage and speak whatever he has come to speak. So the water is over there, so he drinks it from the glass. Chubuko says, aside. Aside is a very important word that you should keep in mind. Now, when the drama is performed on the stage, both the characters are looking at each other and they have to say loudly. Yes, in those olden days when drama was performed on the stage, they didn't have mics and electrical systems and all that, right? So they had to speak out loud. Now they are facing each other and talking loudly to each other, but all the rest of them they can hear, right? But the meaning of aside is they have a regular talk, right? Or they speak their own dialogue. But when one of the characters goes aside, that means comes towards the audience, the people who have come to watch the drama, when he comes and faces towards them and says something loudly aside, that means that dialogue is not meant to be heard by the other character. He is speaking directly. That means what he has inside, what he cannot speak loudly, that he tells to the audience. Aside, he has come to borrow money, shan't give him any. Aloud, what is it, my beauty? You can see that same contrasting thing we can find in this one paragraph. Yes, aside, that means he faces the audience and says, I know he has come to borrow money from him and I'm not going to give him. But when he faces the character, he says, oh, my beauty, why have you come over here? Right? So he thinks something else, but on the outside, he says something else. No more. You see honored step. Again, he starts with it. But then we see him foundering. That means he's not able to gather up courage to speak directly whatever he has come to speak. I beg my pardon, Stava. I mean, I'm awfully excited, and you will please notice if you, in short, you alone can help me. Now, he's fumbling with words, right? The real thing he is not able to say. So, he gathers up courage, but then he speaks a sentence, but that sentence has no meaning. Yes? So, you see, honored Stepnovich, beg pardon. No, there is no meaning of begging pardon over here. I mean, again, the words don't make sense. I'm awfully excited. Why are you excited? And you will please notice, in short, you are the only person who can help me out. So from here to here, 4 or 5 lines are given, but they don't serve any purpose. We can see he's fumbling with words. He's not able to speak what he has come to speak. Though I don't deserve it, of course. Now he also says, I have come to you for something, but I don't deserve it. But then only you can help me, and haven't any right to count on your assistance. He has not even told what he wants, and on top of that, he's saying, I know I don't deserve that, and you have full rights to deny, right? And uh, I, any right to count on your assistance. That means before even saying what he wants, he already says that you're going to say no. That means he's quite troubled. He is not able to collect his courage and speak frankly whatever he has come to speak. Now, Chubuko, oh, he understands, right, that all these words he's saying, it doesn't have meaning, right? So, come to the point. Just don't go round and round and find excuses and just keep on giving dialogues, right? Rather than that, come to the point. Don't go round and round, darling. Spit it out. Spit it out means have courage and just spit those words out. Well, one moment. So, this very moment, again, he's trying to make up some time so that the fact is, I have come to ask you at last, after such a long while and after so many dialogues, he has gathered up courage and he spits it out. I have come to ask the hand of your daughter, Natalia Stepanova, in marriage. Yes, this was the purpose that he had come. Yes, he came with a proposal. He wants the neighbor's daughter's hand for marriage. So that is what. So all this time he didn't have that courage. He was not able to. Maybe he has come alone, yes, and he didn't have that much courage. He didn't know what to expect, what answer to expect, what would be the reaction of the neighbor. Doesn't know. So he was quite worried and afraid. That we can understand. So he spent such a lot of time only for this one proposal that he had in mind, and for the reason, that's the reason that he had come to ask the hand of your daughter Natalia Stepanova in marriage. Chubuko joyfully, now he is very happy. He didn't expect that my rich neighbor is going to come to me and ask for my daughter's hand, right? He was thinking he might have come from money, or he might have come for a number of other purposes. Yes, we always take some or other help from our neighbors time to time, right? So he must have come something for that, right? But then he is very much surprised. Such a rich neighbor has come to me to ask for my daughter's hand, and he shows the excitement on the stage also, joyfully, by Joe. And Ivan Vasilovich, say it again, I didn't hear it all. That means I still don't believe my ears that really such a young, handsome person, very rich and a prosperous person like you has come to ask for the hand of my daughter. I don't believe it. So you're going to say it again. Lomo, I have the honor to ask. Okay, but interrupting. My dear fellow, now he is asking to repeat. When Lomo repeats what he wants, he doesn't allow him to speak because he is so much excited, he is so much happy to hear about it. So he says, okay, my dear fellow, I am so glad, and so on. So that means lots of other words will follow. Yes, indeed, and all that sort of thing. Embraces and kisses Lomo. He's so happy that he just hugs Lomo and kisses him on the cheek. And I have been hoping it for a long time. Inside all, I also felt that you are the best person in this world to marry my daughter. Inside I also felt like that. But then, how can I come up to you and ask for my daughter's hand for you, right? So it is very good that you came to my house and you are asking for my daughter's hand. So I have been wishing it, I had been dreaming it since quite long time. It's been my continual desire. Yes, sheds a tear, false tears. Yes, magarmach wale aasu, crocodile tears, right? And he sheds a tear. He's so happy just to show that, yes, now that means without any question, it's a yes from my side, right? And he wished it from the depth of his heart. And I always loved you, my angel, as if you were my own son. Right now, it's true that uh, the son-in-law, we use the word son-in-law, jamai, jisko bolte jo बेटी के साथ में शादी किया है, तो जमाई बोलते हैं सन इन लॉ. दैट वर्ड सन इज ऑलरेडी देयर, बट इन लॉ, that means by law. Yes, after marrying and the girl, yes, he becomes lawfully his son, right? So in way, one way, it is his son. So I have always loved you, yes, and I have been seeing you since the childhood, and you're just like my son. Now you have officially trying to become my son. So may God give you both. So that means he has accepted. Now Stepanovich has accepted, but then the consent should come from the girl, Natalia. So Lomov says, greatly moved. Now Lomov is taken for surprise because he didn't believe that it would be so easy. He would just go to his house, yes, shake hands and ask for his daughter's hand, and he's jumping over there to give him. That means to give Lomov his daughter's hand is without any fight, without any other obstruction. He's just happy to give away his daughter's hand in his hand. So in this way, Lomov is also quite surprised. Honored Stepanovich, do you think I may count on her consent? So now comes the real question. You are happy. It was your wish. It was your desire. But sometimes the girl might be liking someone, might be loving someone, or she wouldn't be liking me or loving me, right? Because they are neighbors and they have been living over there since childhood. They know each other very well, right? So you are happy, you give the consent, but does your consent also count that your daughter is also going to say yes? So Chubukov now comes back to his senses. Why, of course, my darling. And as if she won't consent, she's in love. God, that is expressing a surprise. It's not only my dream. I think she is also in love with you. It's never that she has never told you. But then she also loves you. She also likes you. That's the meaning. And if I have given consent, I know she is also going to give the consent. She's like a lovesick cat and so on. Shan't be long. So he goes inside to give the good news to the daughter and ask the daughter to go outside, have some word with the neighbor, and then say yes. So that means the father is happy, he has given his consent, now he will send the daughter. Lomov is all alone on the stage, so now he is speaking himself, but he has to speak loudly so that the audience can hear. Right now, audience shouldn't wait till until the girl comes out. By the time, the audience has to be kept engaged. So it's Russia and it's quite cold. Yes, and the winter might be there. We are not told about the season, but whole of the year, Russia is always cold, right? So it's cold and I'm trembling on all over, just as if I have got an examination before me, as if I am a student and I got an examination to face, and I'm shivering and shaking like anything, right? The great thing is I must have my mind made up. That means I should have a very strong mind. The way I blurted out lots of wrong things when I entered the house, rather than coming to the point, I just went round and round asking for water or asking for time, yes, giving some excuses, right? So I should make up my mind properly. If I give myself time to think, to hesitate, to talk a lot, to look for an ideal or a real love, then I'll never get married. Now it is high time that my marriage should happen. Right? I'm a bachelor still and my age is increasing. So it is high time that I should get married. Right? But what are the problems? If I take too much time to decide, yes, then perhaps I'll never marry. The same thing is happening to look for an ideal. Yes, it is the dream of each and every person in this world to get an ideal life partner. Now, if I keep on looking for an ideal life partner, that ideal life partner may never come and I may never get married. So, stop thinking of getting an ideal partner, life partner. Just go ahead with whatever is in front of you. Or for real love. Many people aspire that first I'll fall in love and then I'll marry. So, if I go after all these things, I don't have that much age. Right? Right now is the right time to get married. If I wait for all these things to get an ideal person or to get some ideal love or hesitate to talk, right? If I keep on doing all these things, my age will go away and I'll never get married. And he again says, it's called Natalia Stepanova is an excellent housekeeper. Now, he knows this thing because they are neighbors since long. So he knows that Natalia's house is kept in quite good manner. And she looks after lots of things inside the house, outside the house, the property, the stable, everything. So he knows that Natalia is a very good housekeeper and she's going to keep me happy. Not bad looking. That means not bad looking. That means okay. Or maybe she's quite beautiful, and on top of that, well educated. So rich people, those days we are talking about 1900 AD, then that's it. At that time, more education was not there. Now here, she's not only good housekeeper, she's not only not bad looking, okay, good, beautiful maybe, and on top of that, well educated. So everything is going on correct. Just stop blurting out wrong things. Just stop hesitating. Just don't look for an ideal person. Don't look as if she will love me or not, right? She will keep good care of me whole of the life. No, not that way. If you start looking at those things, then whatever is in front of you, that means even Natalia might say no. What more do I want? But I am getting a noise in my ears from excitement, right? Sometimes your ears, when it's quite silent, yes, they will give a shrill sound, yes, as if some high-pitched sound is coming from your ears. So that he is getting those type of sounds because now he is very much excited, and that excitement makes his ears drum as if they are hearing sound. So it helps by just gulping some water, and that will ease down the things. He drinks, that means the water. And it's impossible for me not to marry. I'm a man, right? And I'm a rich man. And I'm of proper age. Yes, nobody can say no that you can't marry, right? It's impossible for me not to marry. One day or another, I got to marry in the first place. That means if I start thinking right from the first point is I am already 35, right? A critical age. Now it is quite critical, and Anton Chekhov is very intelligent in writing these small things. Right at the age of 35, usually 30, 32, people get married, even in the Western countries, right? So that is the ripe age. Now he has crossed that age of 30, 32. He is at 35. Now if he crosses 35, goes towards 38, 40, that will be middle-aged person, right? That will be middle-aged person. Now you have lost that young, charming, handsome bachelor. You have lost that charm, right? So it is the right age now. 1 year from now also he will become in the category of the middle-aged person, right? He is 36, 37, right? He is not young. So this is the ripe moment, the right moment. Not only ripe, yeah, it's already ripe, right? But it is the right moment. If I lose this moment, then God knows what will happen. In the second place, I ought to lead a quiet and regular life. Yes, I have been a bachelor. I have been doing my things my way. It's okay till 35 years of age. But now is the correct time to settle down, to make a marriage and settle down with a wife, have kids. And this is the time, that is the correct time to do so. Regular life means that I suffer from palpitation, shivers. Now he knows he has some excitement disorders, right? So that is palpitation, that is shivers. Yes, even when he's just on the road and he thinks I'm all alone on the road, suppose a robber comes, and with that thought, no robber is that, but with that thought, the palpitations come and he starts shivering. I am excitable and always getting awfully upset. In excitement, yes, I flounder, right? And I fumble with words, and that is how I have a bad impression with people, right? That if he's excited, now he's going to say all sorts of things and he will forget what he has come to say. So, and that awfully upsets me also and other people also. At this very moment, my lips are trembling. And why are they trembling? I have already talked with the father. The father has given the consent. Yes, I'm ready to give my daughter's hand to you. Now the daughter is going to come. Is that a big thing? No, but he is trembling with fear. Yes, he is actually finding it very hard to face Natalia. So his lips are trembling. And there is a twitch in my right eyebrow. Many times it happens, yes, that all of a sudden when some part of your body starts twitching and it pulls towards you, right? There's a twitch in my right eyebrow, but the very worst of it all is the way I sleep. Now, he knows everything about himself, right? That when I get tensed, some parts, some ear or eye will start twitching. Yes, it happens. The muscle over there starts, actually twitching is nothing, but the muscle start contracting or expanding over there and the thing pulls, right? So, I know the way I sleep. Wow. I no sooner get into bed and begin to go off when suddenly something in my left side gives a pull and I can feel it in my shoulder and head. I jump up like a lunatic, walk about a bit, and lie down again. So he knows something is wrong with him. All this life, all this 35 years, he had not married. One of the reason is he knew he had some trouble with himself, right? As soon as I go to see, you must have heard the word, uh, we just had it, right? Paralyzing. Yes, paralysis. Paralysis is when where one part of the body stops functioning or disobeys or doesn't obey any commands given by the brain, right? You can't walk because the command given by the brain to the leg, it doesn't reach it and the leg cannot obey it and it just keeps dragging, right? The same way the arm, right? It keeps on shivering. It is not in control of the brain. That is paralysis. So here something like that is, it's not paralysis, but when I go to sleep, all of a sudden one side starts shaking or it starts pulling and then I have to wake up in the bed like a lunatic, mad person, and then I walk about a little bit, then all the nerves and muscles, they get in control, and then I again lie down. But soon as I begin to go to sleep, there's another pull, right? As soon as just my eyes have sunken deep and I'm in a little bit of sleep, again something, some side of it, of my body starts pulling. I again have to get up from the bed, walk a little bit, and then, so it happens quite a lot of time in the night. And this may happen 20 times. That means happen quite a lot of time in the night. And every time I have to get out of bed. Now, just this is the reason that he is fearing to get married. Yes, he sees Natalia, suppose he sees Natalia in front of him and then asks for marriage. Now, what's going to happen after marriage when they are going to sleep on the same bed, right? All of a sudden, he'll get up like a lunatic, mad person, and poor Natalia, she'll get worried, she'll get frightened. What's my husband doing, right? And he'll start walking and twitching and twirling over here. Then again comes and lies down. 10-15 minutes, he's again back and walking. So Natalia wouldn't know what's wrong with him. So because of all these reasons, he is fearing. Up till now, he didn't get married because of these reasons. So now Natalia Stepanova comes in. Now enters Natalia. So with this, we complete our lecture today. We'll continue in the next lecture. Thank you, students.